Hello students, myself Rajiv Chaudhary, physics faculty at MHS Seeker Matrix Education. We are now starting previous year papers of different exams. In this series, we are starting first paper, NSE GS paper. Okay. So I am discussing physics paper. Question number first. Apples dropping from apple trees were observed by many people before Newton. In this question said that apples falling from apple tree are observed by many people because apples always fall downside. But why they fall was explained by Isaac Newton, postulating the law of universal gravitation. But this phenomena is only explained by Isaac Newton. This phenomena is only explained by Isaac Newton, given by universal law of gravitation. What is universal law of gravitation? Universal law of gravitation is say that if two masses m1 and m2, then these attract by equal and opposite force. Always two masses attract each other by equal force. This is universal gravitation law given by Newton. Okay, beta. Now, next thing is, which of the following statement best describe this situation? What is the given situation? Given situation is that there is an apple tree and an apple falls from tree towards the surface of earth. So, from law of universal gravitation, we say that force on apple is exerted by earth and force on earth is exerted on by apple. So equal and opposite force. On earth, apple exerts force. On apple, earth exerts the force. But this force is equal and opposite. Equal and opposite force. Clear? Now we will read out the options. First option, the force of gravity act only on apple. No, force of gravity attract on earth and apple both. So this option is wrong. The apple is attracted toward the surface of earth. This is correct but incomplete because earth is also attracted toward the apple. So next option, both earth and apple experience the same force of attraction towards each other. Both earth and apple experience the same force of attraction towards each other. Both experience force of attraction towards each other. So your answer will be third option. Fourth option says apple falls due to earth's gravity and hence only 1 and 2 is third is absurd. No, third option is correct. Apple fall due to gravity, but all force is also applied on earth. Okay, so option third is your answer. Clear? Question number second says a rectangular metal plate. A rectangular metal plates, we can say that A, B, C and D. We can say that A, B, C and D. In addition, as a charge, has total charge Q equal to 420 microcoulomb. Assumed to be uniformly distributed. Charge is uniformly distributed over the plate. Then how much is the charge over the shaded area? In this figure, in this diagram, these regions are shaded, which we are explaining. These four regions are first, second, third and fourth. These four regions are shaded in diagram. On this four part, find the charge. So we have assumed that charge on shaded region is Q1. Charge on shaded region. That will come out, we have assumed Q1. Okay. Now, given that pi is equal to 22/7. pi is equal to 22 divided by 7, and no part and diagonals are shown for clarity. So we know that to find Q1 equal to, we can say that if we can find sigma into area of shaded region A1, sigma is surface charge density and A1 is area of shaded region, area of shaded region. So if we have to find this charge, then we have to find sigma and A1. To find surface charge density sigma, sigma equal to total charge divided by total area of plate. Then charge is given 420 microcoulomb divided by 14 into 28 centimeter. Length is 28 centimeter and breadth is 14 centimeter. So area of rectangle will be length into breadth. So this will come out or sigma. Now we have to find area of shaded region. We have to find area of shaded region, which is we have assumed A1. Now let's see what will happen. That if we can find area of this total and minus the area of this circle part and part of this circle. If we see area of this part of circle and area of this part of circle will be same. So we can say that area of triangle ACD minus area of one circle, and that will come out A1 equal to area of this triangle will be half into base into height minus pi r square. Now we have to calculate radius. So for radius, we know that center C1 and that center C2. So radius r, here radius r, here again radius r, here again radius r. So we can say that 4r equal to 28 centimeter. That means r equal to 7 centimeter. R equal to 7 centimeter. So pi into 7 centimeter square. This area will come in centimeter square. From calculation A1 equal to 14 square minus pi 22 by 7 into 7 square pi r square. This will come from pi r square. Okay. So 22 by 7 ka square, this will come 42 centimeter square. This will come 42 centimeter square. So charge on shaded region Q1 equal to sigma 420 divided by 14 into 28 multiplied by area A1, that is 42 centimeter square. So Q1 will come out, this will come out 2 times. So this will come 90 microcoulomb divided by 2. So Q1 equal to 45 microcoulomb. Q1 will come 45 microcoulomb. So your answer will be option first. Question number 3. In this question, a circuit is shown. The adjacent circuit, the voltages across AD, BD and CD are given 2 volt, 6 volt and 8 volt. In question, VAD is given 2 volt, VBD is given 6 volt and VCD is given 8 volt and VCD is given 8 volt. So A and D, potential between A and D is given 2 volt and potential between B and D is given 6 volt. So potential from B to A, here from B to D is 6 volt and A to D is 2 volt. So from B to A it will be 4 volt because 6 volt minus 2 volt will come out 4 volt. And next, potential across C to D. Potential across C to D is given 8 volt. Potential across C to D is given 8 volt. So B to D is 6 volt. So from C to B it will come 2 volt because 8 volt minus 6 volt will come out 2 volt. Now next thing, if resistance RA is given 1 kilo ohm, 1 kilo ohm, that means 1 into 10 raised to power 3 ohm, 1 into 10 raised to power 3 ohm. We know that current in series in all resistance remains same, and all these resistance are in series, and all these resistance are in series. If we have to find next, find the value of resistance RB and RC. If we have to find resistance RB and RC, then we have to find first of all current. Then from Ohm's law, we know that V equal to IR. So for part A to D, V is given that 2 volt equal to, we don't know, I into resistance is RA, which is given 1 into 10 raised to power 3 ohm. So I will come out 2 divided by 10 raised to power 3 ampere. Now for find RB and RC, we have to find RB and RC. I will take part for B to A. Again Ohm's law, V is 4 volt, I we know that 2 upon 10 raised to power 3 into resistance RB we don't know, so RB equal to 4 into 10 raised to power 3 divided by 2, that means RB equal to 2 into 10 raised to power 3, RB equal to 2 into 10 raised to power 3 ohm, or we can say that 2 kilo ohm, Next thing, to find RC, for we will take C to B. For C to B, V is 2 volt and I is 2 divided by 10 raised to power 3 into RC. That will come out RC equal to 2 into 10 raised to power 3 divided by 3. That will come out RC equal to 2 into 10 raised to power 3 divided by 2. 1 into 10 raised to power 3 ohm, or we can say that 1 kilo ohm. So RC will come out 1 kilo ohm. So your answer will be, for RB it is 2 kilo ohm and for RC it is 1 kilo ohm. So RC is given 1 kilo ohm and RB is given 2 kilo ohm. So your option answer will be second. Question number 4. A new linear scale of temperature to be designed. We have to design a new scale of temperature which is linear, and it is called, and its name is given as Z scale, like Celsius scale and Fahrenheit scale. This new designed temperature scale is named as Z scale. On which of the freezing point, and on this Z scale, freezing point of water on Z scale is given 20 Z, and boiling point of water on this Z scale is given by 220 Z. What will be the temperature shown on Z scale? Corresponding to a temperature of 20 degrees centigrade. Here given temperature of 20 degrees centigrade, then find temperature on Z scale. We know temperature of freezing on Celsius scale is 0 degrees centigrade, and temperature of boiling on Celsius scale is 100 degrees centigrade. And we know from temperature calculation formula taught in thermodynamics is temperature on Z scale minus temperature of freezing on Z scale divided by temperature of boiling of water on Z scale minus temperature of freezing on Z scale equal to temperature on Celsius scale minus temperature of freezing of water on Celsius scale divided by temperature of boiling of water on Celsius scale minus temperature of freezing of water on Celsius scale. As we put values in this formula, we got that we have to find Tz minus 20 divided by, because freezing point is 20, boiling point is 220 minus freezing point is 20 equal to Tc given that 20 minus Tfc, that is 0 divided by 100 minus 0. By calculation, we will solve that Tz minus 20 divided by 200 equal to 20 divided by 100. 100 will cut out by 2 times, then Tz minus 20 equal to 2 into 20, then it will come out Tz equal to 20 plus 40, that on Z scale. So your answer will come 60Z. Answer will come 60Z, and that is your option 4. So correct option will be 4. Okay. Next question number 5. Let's see this question. This is question of wave. Some waveform first, second, third and fourth superpose and graphically to produce the waveform PQRS. Among the following, match the pair that give the correct combination. So let's start this question. In this question, some wave fronts are given like that. Here is 1, here is 0 and here minus 1. Here 1, here 0 and minus 1. 1, 0, minus 1 and this minus 1. And from these first, second, third, fourth, from these 4 combination, we have to produce PQRS. PQRS. So take example of third and fourth. Just a combination. Here combination, that means superposition of third and fourth. Here is third and it is fourth. Third and fourth. Third, in third it is 0 plus it is minus 1. So 0 minus 1 will come out minus 1. In this region, here plus 1 plus 0, that will come out plus 1. In this region 0 and it is minus 1, so 0 plus minus 1 will come out minus 1. In this region 1, or here 0, then 1 plus 0 will come out 1. So in which minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 alternate will come, that will be option of S. So third and fourth, then we can see minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1. It will come. So K is matched to the S. K is matched to the S. In which option K is matched to the S? This and this. Option number second and fourth. Second and fourth. From this and from this. From this and this. Let's see. Here in second and fourth, in second minus 1, in fourth minus 1, that will come out minus 2. Next, minus plus 1 plus 0, that will come out plus 1. Minus 1 minus 1. Minus 1 and minus 1 will come out minus 2. Minus 1 minus 1 will come out minus 2. And here plus 1 and 0. plus 1 and 0. That will come out plus 1. That will come out plus 1. Here will come out plus 1. Next, minus 1, minus 1. Then minus 1 equal to minus 2. So alternate will come minus 2 plus 1, minus 2 plus 1. So minus 2 plus 1, minus 2 plus 1. So from L it is connected R. So R will come L. R will come L. This option is also correct. So second and fourth option are correct for these two. Next, first, second, third. Plus 1, minus 1, 0. Plus 1, minus 1, 0. That will come out 0. Because plus 1, minus 1 plus 0 will come out 0. Next, minus 1, plus 1 and plus 1. That will come out plus 1. First, second and third. Plus 1, minus 1 and 0. So plus 1, minus 1 and 0. That will come out 0. So alternate it is coming 0 plus 1 0. So 0 plus 1 0. So it will come out for P. So M will come out for P. M for P in this option and this option. So second option is correct and fourth is wrong. So for Q you can check out for Q. N first and fourth. First is plus 1, this is minus 1, then it will come 0. It will be minus 1, it will be 0, then minus 1. Here plus 1, minus 1, again 0, again minus 1, then it will come Q. So Q for N. So 4 option, then answer is your option second. Clear? Question number 6. A rigid body of mass is suspended from point O. A rigid body is suspended from point O. It is suspended from point O using an inextensible string of length L. This length is given L. When it is displaced through an angle theta, it is displaced through theta. What is the change in potential energy of the mass? From here, from this point, particle come to this point, then change in potential energy. We assume that this change is height h. It will come to height h. Then when a particle goes to height h, then change in potential energy delta U. Change in potential energy delta U. Change in potential energy, that will come out mgh. So here potential energy change delta U will come out mgh. Now we have to calculate h. To calculate h, we know that this length from this point to this point, this length is capital L. This length is capital L. Now take component of this length L along this theta. So this will come out L cos theta. This will come out L cos theta. Now we can say that L cos theta plus small h equal to capital L. So h will come out L minus L cos theta. Then h will come out L into 1 minus cos theta. H will come out 1 L into 1 minus. So here delta U can come, change in potential energy will come mgh L into 1 minus cos theta, and that is your option, first option. Question number 7. In this question, a piece of wire P and 3 identical cells are connected in series. First case, say that a piece of wire that we can take, that P is connected by 3 cells. So we can say that 3 cells of equal potential, that we will take V, V, V. Okay, an amount of heat generated in a certain time. In this time t, in any time t, heat generated due to progress that we can call is h, and h is v square upon r into t. But in this v is a total 3v, total 3v, so h we can call 3v whole square divided by r of resistance p into time t. So this is heat produced in p, this is heat produced in, this is formula for heat produced. Formula, we know that power equal to v square upon r, and power is energy divided by time. So energy, heat energy developed is equal to v square upon r into t. Okay, and resistance of rp equal to, resistance of p equal to, let us assume this length is L and this cross section area is A, then resistance of rp is rho L by A. This resistance will come out rho L by A, where rho is resistivity, L is length of wire, and A is area. Next, second thing is, now the circuit is modified by replacing wire P with another wire Q and an identical cell. Now we have placed another wire Q, but here cells are N, 1, 2 up to capital N, and wire is Q. Now Q is 4 times longer than P. Here length is L, so 4 times longer, that means it has length 4L. The wire PQ are of same material, so resistivity will same and area will remain say A, and have same diameter. Diameter same, that means area will be same. If the heat generated in second situation also same. Here heat developed in HQ, heat is also developed as same HP. Then find N in same time interval, T, then find value of N, So we can calculate HQ equal to, we can say that NV whole square divided by RQ into T, and that will come out HQ equal to N square into V square divided by RQ. For RQ, what will you put? That RQ into T. RQ equal to rho into 4L upon A. Now put in this equation both the, so HQ N square upon V square divided by RQ rho into 4L divided by A equal to HP 3V whole square into T divided by RP, that will come rho L by A into time T. Now we will do calculation, then calculation for rho L A cut out, T cut out, V square even cut out हो जाएगा, then N square equal to 3 square into 4, that will come 36, then N equal to root 36, that means 6. So value of N equal to 6, then your answer will be option second. Question number 8, a diagram of force and displacement is given. Refer to the adjacent figure. A variable force F is applicable to a body of mass 6 kg. Body of mass M equal to given 6 kg. M is given at 6 kg. And initially at rest, that means U is equal to 0. U is equal to 0 meter per second. We can say that because it is at a rest. The body move along x-axis. Body moves along x-axis. Body moves, start from x equal to 0. So start from x equal to 0 and initial speed 0 meter per second, start from rest. The speed of body at x equal to 5 and x equal to 6. Here x equal to 5 and here x equal to 6. we have to find speed v5 and v6. We have shown speed at x equal to 5 meter is v5 and speed at x equal to 6 meter is as v6. So we have to find then v5 and v6. For this, here in diagram, question is given, in this diagram, question is given like this. We can draw like this x-axis. Here 4, here 5, here will come 6. And it is 4. Now we have modified this diagram. So we know that work done by force is change in kinetic energy, delta Ke, that means K final minus K initial. And work done by force, we know that area under fx curve, equal to K final minus K initial. But here initial velocity is 0, so we can say that K initial is 0. So K final equal to area under force displacement curve, that means fx curve, and it is said to be half mv square. Now let us take from x equal to 0 to x equal to 5 meter. Graph of this area will come out this area. So area will be area of parallelogram. Okay. So x equal to 0 to 5. From x equal to 0 to 5, we say that area of parallelogram, that will be half into sum of sides, parallel sides. Then this will come 5 and this will come 1. This will come out 1. 5 plus 1 into distance between them, that will come out 4. Then it will come out half into 6 into 4, 12, equal to half m is 6 and v5 ka square of v5, then v5 equal to root under 12 into 2 divided by 6, that will come out root 4. Then v5 will come out 2 meter per second. It will come out 2 meter per second. After that, force is 0, so it will be constant velocity. Or speed. So constant velocity, that means v6 also 2 meter per second. Then we can say that v5 and v6 is 2 meter per second. So your answer will be option 3rd. Now question number 9. In this question, the motion of a small spherical steel body of mass m falling freely through a long column of fluid that opposite its motion with a force proportional to speed. In this question, small spherical steel ball. In this question, this tube is filled with fluid. And a small spherical steel body of mass m, mass equal to m, is falling freely. In a long column that opposes its motion is falling freely, then going downside. Then this body is going downside and it is saying fluid that opposes its motion with a force proportional to its speed. It is opposing, motion direction is this, and this fluid is opposing its motion by a force proportional to its speed. We can assume that force is viscous force. That force is called viscous force. And we have denoted by Fv. FV. As body, initially the body moves down fast. Initially acceleration is downward and the body moves downward fast. But after some time attain a constant velocity. After some time attain a constant velocity known as terminal velocity. Known as terminal velocity. If the weight is mg, so weight of this body is mg, which is always act downward towards the earth surface. And opposing force is Fv. We have first viscous force, this is Fv. And buoyant force we know that it always applied upwards. Act onward. Then the correct equation we have find this is terminal velocity. And in question it is said that terminal velocity is constant velocity. It is constant velocity. So if it is constant velocity, then we know that for constant velocity acceleration is 0. Acceleration is 0. For acceleration is 0 on body, F net should be 0. F net should be 0. Then we can say that Fv plus Fb minus mg should be 0. From this equation we get that mg equal to Fv plus Fb. Fv plus Fb. So option third will be your correct answer. Next question number. At an instant of time, the total energy E of a simple pendulum. Total energy denoted by capital E of a simple pendulum is equal to the sum of its kinetic energy, which is said to be half mv square, and potential energy, which is said to be half kx square, where m is mass, v is velocity, x is displacement of the bob, and k is a constant for pendulum. K is constant for a pendulum. The amplitude of oscillation for pendulum. Amplitude is given A is equal to 10 centimeter, which is we can say 0.1 meter, and it is maximum displacement. It is maximum displacement. It is maximum displacement of pendulum. At this, and its total energy, is given by 4 millijoule. 4 millijoule, that means 4 into 10 raised to power minus 3 joule. Then find K. You can say that this is simple pendulum. Its maximum displacement is given by 10 centimeter. At maximum displacement, velocity is 0, that means kinetic energy equal to 0. Then kinetic energy is 0, then total energy equal to, we said that kinetic energy plus potential energy. But in this case, kinetic energy is 0. So total energy will be as potential energy, that is equal to half kx square. Because at the maximum displacement, as the maximum displacement amplitude, it will be only potential energy, no kinetic energy. So we can say from this that E 4 into 10 raised to power minus 3 joule equal to half, we have to find K into x. X equal to, we can say A. At that position x equal to A, so we can say that A is 0.1 square. So 4 into 10 raised to power minus 3 into 2 divided by 0.1 ka square, that is equal to K. From here K equal to 8 into 10 raised to power minus 3 divided by 10 raised to power minus 2, and it will come out K equal to 0.8 Newton per meter. Unit of K is Newton per meter. So option will be, correct option will be second option. Next question number 11. When a charged particle with charge Q, charge on particle is Q, and mass small m, enter in uniform magnetic field, magnitude is B, with a velocity v with a velocity v at right angle to b. Direction of velocity and direction of magnetic field have right angle, means 90-degree angle. The force on the moving particle is given by QEB. Then if velocity and magnetic field are perpendicular, then force is given by QVB. This is said in this question. This force act as a centripetal force. This force act as a centripetal force, that means perpendicular to velocity. This force vector is perpendicular to velocity vector, that means it will be centripetal force. Centripetal force. Okay. Next, due to this centripetal force, particle goes in a circular motion with radius r equal to mv by qb. With radius r equal to mv by qb. Now, if a hydrogen ion means hydrogen ion, that means 1H1, and a deuterium ion. Deuterium ion means 1H2. Ion means 1H2. Enter the magnetic field with velocity ratio. Velocity of hydrogen atom divided by velocity of deuterium atom is 2:1. Then the ratio of their radii. Then find the ratio of their radii. So radius of hydrogen divided by radius of deuterium equal to m of hydrogen, velocity of hydrogen divided by q of hydrogen into b divided by mass of deuterium into velocity of deuterium divided by q of deuterium into b. B will cancel out, then mass of hydrogen divided by mass of deuterium into velocity of hydrogen divided by velocity of deuterium into q of deuterium divided by q of hydrogen, because this will come upside and this will go downside. So mass of hydrogen divided by mass of hydrogen ion divided by mass of deuterium ion will come with it 1:2. So this will come 1/2, and this is given 2:1, and charge is 1:1. Then this will come 1 divided by 1. So ratio will come, we can say that radius of hydrogen is to radius of deuterium is 1:1. So your answer will be option 4. So your answer will be option 4, 1:1. Clear? Next, question number 12. In this question, a diagram is shown in which a screw nut assembly is given. A screw nut assembly is given. In this position, and screw is allowed to rotate inside it. A convex lens is put. Lens is convex lens of focal length f is given that 6 centimeter. F is given 6 centimeter. Is fixed on nut. An object pin P is attached to the screw head. The image of object is observed on the screen. When screw head is rotated through one rotation, if screw head is rotated through one rotation, then it will move by 1 mm. It will move by 1 mm, that means 0.1 centimeter. The observation are made only when the image is obtained in the same orientation on the screen at a certain position of P. The image formed is 3 times magnified as that of the pin height. In first case, image is formed 3 times magnified. So magnified 3 times, that means M is minus 3, and you know that length V is one side and U is one side, then M will come negative to minus 3. If minus 3, then this will come F upon F plus U. Magnification come F upon F plus U, where F is 6, then minus 3 equal to 6 upon 6 plus U, then minus का 18 minus 3U equal to 6, 3U equal to minus 24, that means U equal to minus 8 centimeter. From here we can get U equal to minus 8 centimeter. For this, 3 times magnified, you will get 8 centimeter as that of the pinite. Through how many turns should be the screw have to rotated so that the image is 2 times magnified? Now it is saying that given that it is U, now that screw is tied, let us assume that it will come X distance forward, then this distance will become, M will become minus 2, and that will become F upon F plus U, and F is 6 upon 6 plus minus 8 minus X, and you will get X from X equal to 1 centimeter. You will get from here X is equal to 1 centimeter. If it is displaced by 1 centimeter, in one rotation, it move 0.1 centimeter. Then let us assume that n rotation are rotated, and in one rotation 0.1 centimeter, total movement is 1 centimeter, then n equal to 1 divided by 0.1, that is equal to 10 moves, 10 rotations. That will come 10 rotations. So your answer will be second option, 10 rotation. Clear? Question number 13. The triangular face of a crown glass prism ABC is a isosceles triangle. Length AB equal to length AC, and rectangular face with edge AC is silvered. A ray of light is incident normally on rectangular face with edge AB. It undergoes reflection at AB and AC internally, and it emerges normally through the rectangular base with BC. Then the angle BAC of the prism will be. Then angle BAC of prism is angle BAC find. We have to find angle. Then we will make first of all prism. A, B and C. And AB equal to AC is given, so angle this and this will be same. Their opposite angle will be different. So in an isosceles triangle, the sides which is the angle opposite to the side are same. Okay. Next, AC side is silvered. AC side is silvered like this. Now, what is saying in this question? A ray of light is incident normally on rectangular face with edge AB. On AB face, a light ray incident normally, then light ray will come like this, and this will come 90 degree, After reflection from here, this light ray will go in this direction. And after reflection from this, it is saying that light ray is going according to this, and perpendicular to surface BC and perpendicular to surface. Light ray is incident normally on face AB and it is internally reflected through surface AC and AB, and after these reflection light rays goes perpendicular to BC. Perpendicular to BC. Now we have to calculate this angle theta. Now take this angle theta, this 90 degree, then this angle will come 90 minus theta, and this total is 90 degree. Because it is normal, then it will come back theta, and it is also theta. Then you can say that this is also theta. Then you can say that this is 90 degree. This is 90 degree again. Now see in this triangle. Let us focus in this triangle. This whole angle is 2 theta and this is 90 degree. Then this angle will come 90 minus 2 theta. This angle will come 90 minus 2 theta. Then this is normal, then this is 90, then this will again come 2 theta and this will again come 2 theta. And this again come 90 minus 2 theta. But it is 90 degree. So again B angle will come 2 theta, and it is also a 2 theta because AB equal to AC. And if AB equal to AC, then their opposite angles will also be equal. Then this angle A equal to, we have assumed theta, angle B equal to 2 theta, and angle C equal to 2 theta. Then sum of this total angle A plus angle B plus angle C will be 180 degree, because sum of three angle of triangle is 180 degree. Then this is theta plus 2 theta plus 2 theta equal to 180 degree. Then 5 theta equal to 180 degree. That means theta equal to 180 divided by 5. That means theta equal to 36 degree. So your answer will be option. Third. Next is question number 14. A physics teacher and his family are traveling in a car on a highway during a severe lightning storm. Choose the correct option. On a rainy day, a physics faculty, your physics teacher is moving in a car. With his family. Okay. He is driving car and he is moving on a straight road. And it is a rainy day. So, in rainy day, lightning is basic and can occur many times. Then, in a severe lightning storm, choose correct option. First option is safest place will be inside the car, as the charges due to lightning tend to retain on the metal seat skin of the vehicle it is struck by the. Before this question, I will explain shielding of charge. Shielding of charge in any conductor. If you give any charge, it will come always on surface. Charge will always come on surface. Lightning means flow of charge. Charge flow from one place to another place. So let's assume that lightning occurs and some charge is put on this. But we know that surface of car is made of metal, and metal is a good conductor. Metal is a good conductor. So if you remain inside the car, no charge will come inside the car and cannot harm the passenger inside the car, because car is made of metal and metal is a good conductor. So if you remain inside the car, nothing or no part of charge will come inside the car because of shielding of charge. Charge on a conductor remain always on the surface. Okay, so due to shielding of charges, charge remain on the surface of the body of car and never will, so passenger will remain safe. So passenger will remain safe. So safest place will be inside the car. Safest place will be inside the car. So first option will be correct. Second option, it's too dangerous to be inside the car. No, this option is wrong, because car, inside the car, it is the safest place. It is not dangerous, so it is wrong. Safest place is under a tree. No, tree can break and fall on the car. Fall on the car or fall on the passenger, so it is also wrong option. For it is safer to exit the car and stand on the ground. Open the ground. Ground will, if you stand on the ground and lightning strikes on you, then charge flow through you, and charge flow through you, then you can injured, you get injured. So fourth option is also wrong. Question number first option is correct. Next, question number 15. In this question, let us assume out of board is x-axis and this is y-axis, and outside board is x-axis and this is z-axis, and a loop of wire is placed like that and current is going inside. Then you have to draw magnetic field lines. You have to draw magnetic field lines. At this point, current is going upward. Current is going in upward direction. Current is going upward direction. Then in this plane, in XY plane, magnetic field lines will come through this right hand thumb rule. Which rule? Right hand thumb rule. From right hand thumb rule, you will rotate this hand by like this in the direction right hand thumb rule. According to right hand thumb rule, thumb of right hand should be in the direction of current, and your fingers curling gives the direction of magnetic field. So in this XY plane, it will be like this. It will rotate like this. So magnetic field lines will come like this. In this plane, magnetic field lines will come. Now at this place, current is going this side. So your magnetic field lines will come this line. Like this, inside. If you make circle this, in, out. If we make a plane, then this will go inside. So light, we can make this plane if in 3D. If we make this plane in 3D, then light ray will go like this. Magnetic field lines will go like this. Okay. So from right hand thumb rule, we can calculate magnetic field of lines. We can draw magnetic field lines, and question number option 1 is your correct answer. Option 1 is your correct answer from the right hand thumb rule. Clear? Next is question number 16. In this question is given a school is located between two cliffs. School is located between two cliffs. When the metal bell is struck by a school attendant, first echo is heard by him after 2.4 seconds, and second echo follows 2 seconds for him at the same position near the bell. If the velocity of sound in air is 340 meter per second at the temperature of the surrounding, then the distance between the cliffs. We can draw this as a situation if cliff 1 is this and cliff 2 is this. And in between them there is a school, and in between them there is a school, and here metal bell is struck. Then let us assume distance between school and cliff 1 is x1 and distance between cliff and x2 is x2. Then distance between cliff, find, if I have to find distance between cliff, then we have to find x equal to x1 plus x2. That means we have to find x1 and x2. For that, if we assume that first echo is from this and thus t1 is given 2.4 second and second echo is this and this time t2 is given 2.4 second plus 2, then that will come 4.4 second. Find distance this time t1 equal to 2x1 divided by speed of sound. Speed of sound that is given 340 meter per second. That is given 340 meter per second. Then you can say that x1 equal to Vs into t1 by 2, and that will come Vs is 340 into t1 is 2.4 divided by 2. Then x1 will come 408 meter. Then x1 will come 408 meter. T2 equal to 2x2 upon Vs. T2 equal to 2x2 upon Vs. Then x2 will come T2 into Vs divided by 2. Then if we put values, T2 is 4.4 multiplied by 340 divided by 2 equal to x2 will come 748 meter. X2 will come 748 meter. Okay. Now, if we have to calculate x, distance between the cliff, x is distance between cliffs, then x equal to x1 plus x2. X equal to x1 is given 408 meter plus x2 is given 7, we have find 748 meter, and that will come 1156 meter, and we can say x is approximately 1.6 kilometer. 1156, that means 1.16 kilometer. Your answer will be third option. Clear? Question number 17. The radius of curvature of a convex mirror is x. The distance of one object from focus of this mirror is y. Then what is the distance of image from the focus? So first of all, we have to draw a convex mirror. This is convex mirror and this is focus, and this is, let's assume that this is object. This is an object. And distance between this object and focus F is y. If radius of curvature is given x, then focal length will come x by 2. Then from pole to focus distance, that is called focal length, that will come x by 2. Then from pole to object distance will come y minus x by 2. Y minus x by 2. Clear? Now, from the mirror formula, we can say that 1 upon v plus 1 upon u equal to 1 upon f. Now we will put value 1 upon v we have to find plus 1 upon u. U is given as y minus x by 2, and that is also negative. Negative of y minus x by 2 equal to 1 upon f, that is equal to x by 2, because light ray will come, incident light ray will come in this direction, so positive will be this and this will be negative and this will be negative. So we can solve this, that 1 upon v minus 2 upon 2y minus x is equal to 2 by x. Here we have take LCM 2 and go upside and 2y minus 2x, then 2 by 2x. Okay. If we calculate v, then 1 upon v equal to 2 by x plus 2 upon 2y minus x. If we take LCM, then x into 2y minus x will come LCM and 2 come outside, then 2y minus x plus x. X will cancel out, then v will come out x into 2y minus x upon 4y. But in this question, we have to find distance of image from the focus. Distance of image from the focus. Then distance of image from focus will come x by 2 minus v, and that will come x by 2 minus v will come x into 2y minus x into 2y minus x divided by 4y. And if we will take LCM of 4y, then 2x minus 2xy minus 2xy plus x square, then it will come x square upon 4y. So your answer will be third option. Question number 18. In this question, a piece of ice is floating in water at 4 degrees centigrade. In a beaker, when ice melts completely, the water level in beaker will become. Now we will take this example. Let us understand. A ice cube is floating in water at 4 degree centigrade. Let us assume Vt is total volume of this ice cube and Vi is volume immersed. Okay. So we know that volume immersed equal to rho of ice divided by rho of water at 4 degrees centigrade multiplied by total volume. Now it is melted and it is converted into water. Whole system is converted into water, but temperature will become 0 degree centigrade. Now I want to say that volume of melted water, that will come mass of ice divided by density of water at 0 degree centigrade, which will come rho of ice into volume total divided by rho of water at 0 degree centigrade. As we know, density of water at 4 degree centigrade is greater than density of water at 0 degree centigrade, because density of water is maximum at 4 degree centigrade. Clear? From this, if this is valid, this is true, then we can say that volume melted is greater than volume of ice. That means this volume immersed is less and this volume melted of ice is greater. So if volume is increased, that means level will rise, and your answer will be level will rise because volume increased, because volume is increased. If volume is increased, then level will rise. Okay. Question number 19. A particle experiences a constant acceleration for 20 seconds. After starting from rest, if it travel distance s1 in first 10 seconds and distance s2 in next 10 seconds, then the relation between s2 and s1 will be. If we have to find this relation, then draw a particle at t equal to 0, assume that is x equal to 0 and have a constant acceleration a. Assume that this particle is at t equal to 10 second, it is here, and this distance traveled is s1, and this distance travel is s1. Now assume that this time is t equal to 20 second and this distance travel next 10 second is s2. So this distance will come s1 plus s2. As we know, s equal to ut plus half at square. Here initial velocity u equal to 0 meter per second. Then s equal to 0 into time t plus half at square. Then s equal to half at square. If we calculate s1, then s1 equal to half a into 10 ka square. That equal to 100a by 2. That means 50a. Next we will calculate s1 plus s2 distance covered in 20 seconds, and that will come 400a divided by 2, that means 200a. s1 is 50a plus s2 is 200a. Then s2 will come 150a. So s1 is 50a and s2 is 150a. So s2 will become 3 multiplied by 50a. That means s2 equal to 3 times s1. s2 equal to 3 times s1. That means your answer will be first. Question number 20, last question of this paper. In this, sound wave is produced by vibrating metal string stretched between its end. 4 statements are given us, some of them are correct. Then which of the following is correct? Find the correct statement. It is saying like that guitar wire are vibrated and sound is guitar wire like guitar wire. Sound is produced by vibrating wires. First, sound wave is produced inside the string. No, sound wave is produced by when we vibrate this string, then particles of this medium vibrate, due to this sound wave is produced. Sound wave is string is transverse. No, it's longitudinal. In the string is longitudinal. Wavelength of sound, there is no sound wave in string. Wavelength of the sound wave in the surrounding air is equal to the wavelength of the transverse wave on the string. No, beta. No. Sound lambda in string and lambda in sound wave. This is different. This is for string wave and this is for sound wave, that are not equal. So option first is also wrong, second is wrong, PQ, R is also wrong. S, loudness of sound is proportional to the square of amplitude of vibrating string. Loudness of sound is directly proportional to amplitude square. That is equal to correct. That is equal to correct statement. That is equal to correct. So your answer will be fourth option. S option is correct. All are wrong. So that's the NSCJ 1920 paper, physics paper. We have solved all the questions. Thank you.